Hello, our dear football lovers! You are on the Inside Football channel, and we decided that we haven't had captivating battles for quite a while. But we know that many of you enjoy them so much. We've already had Ronaldo JR facing Arad Hosseini, known as the Iranian Messi, as well as Ronaldo Jr. facing Thiago Messi. In the tie against Arad, Cristiano lost with a score of 5-3. But now he has become older and even more promising. Though today we have chosen an equally tough opponent for him. Yeah, seems that Cristiano Jr. got a more mature opponent for the first time. We have picked another popular persona of our channel, Ronaldinho's son, João Mendes, who goes on and building his football path in Brazil. Will Cristiano Jr. be able to withstand the competitor this time? Now that would be an entertainment to see. But we say right on the spot that the editors of Inside Football channel have no favorites in the following showdown, and we are actually interested in watching and comparing these two lads in a fair battle. So, as a rule, Cristiano and João Mendes agree on 5 rounds. During the first one, we are about to evaluate their skills and physical abilities. In the second, we have to refer to statistics. Then we'll have a thorough look at their passion for football, their media appearance, and conclude the matter with an assessment of their adult football prospects. How do you like that plan? But before we start off, write down who you think will win this battle after all, João Mendes or Cristiano. Let us know your favorite in the comments. Well, we proceed to begin. So, the first round, huh? Let's see which of these boys handles the ball better. Frankly speaking, it was hard to pick a winner in this round. So far, João Mendes has a slightly better developed physique simply because he's 5 years older. Ronaldinho's kid was born in 2005 and Cristiano Jr. in 2010. Such a difference is a serious gap, especially in youth football. Ronaldo Jr. clearly inherits his dribbling style from father, because he loves to mess around with the ball during games. We even analyzed some of his moves on this channel. Of course, not always the actions of Cristiano lead to goals. Though the youngster is not afraid to take responsibility on his shoulders, he's also sure to have a passion for free kicks. You've probably seen Ron succeeding in an accurate shot in the style of his dad. At the same time, João Mendes gets very serious in terms of his physical condition, dedicating lots of time to pumping muscles in the gym. At his age, this makes a very important point, since he's soon to perform alongside adults and show his best against their background, which is simply impossible to handle having no physical shape. Remember Xavi Simons? He didn't do much when he looked like a child compared to others, but after sweating more than once in the gym, the talent immediately became much more mature. Nevertheless, while Cristiano Jr. can only carry things out with the help of dribbling, then João can also get tougher near the box and send the ball into the net with a good long-range shot. By the way, in his Instagram page, he showed how the job must be done. We give a point to Ron Jr. for his dribbling attempts and free kicks, and a point to João for a great physique. The score is 1-1, and we move on. As for the second round, we'll look at how good these guys at scoring goals, because both play in attacking positions. And here we have a small question for João. Dude, where are your stats anyway? Performing at a children's level, CR Jr. was an actual goal-scoring machine in Juve, and all media trumped about his achievements. The boy showed amazing figures, slotting an average more than 2 goals per match. There isn't much coming from the pitches of Manchester right now, but we used to have phenomenal numbers back then. João, on the other hand, is more silent in this regard. Remember him completing his trials at PSG but intentionally refusing the club, because of him and his family wanting to build their career at home with all calm and quietness, making their way to Europe afterwards. Mendes is currently playing for Cruzeiro, but little is heard from there, except for rare photos and videos from training sessions. According to the Transfermarkt portal, João Mendes' priority position is a central forward. Sometimes he can play an inside forward, but usually he comes out to net balls into the goal. So, still, where are your stats, Ronaldinho Jr.? If the performances were unbelievably amazing and João scored a huge number of goals, then we would definitely hear about it from somewhere. After all, it may be a crime not to mention boys' triumphs. Let's hope we will find out a little more on that in the upcoming future. Subsequently, we give Cristiano Jr. 1 point for his amazing performance, making the score 2-1 in favor of Ronaldo's kiddo. Will Joao be able to catch up and outplay Cristiano? Next up, we have the third round, which is Passion for Football, our regular rubric in such battles. Which of the guys got really immersed in their favorite activity? Many football fans may think that Cristiano is fond of football simply because of his father's will. But no, right now, he's studying at one of the best academies in England, and his grandmother Dolores Chaveiro notes that even Cristiano Sr. played worse at his age. So far, we see the guy really trying to improve at the Manchester United Academy, while the family tries to regularly attend his games. It's unlikely that he would have stayed in the team in case he had just been lollygagging from time to time. Since childhood, his dad taught him the notions of responsible attitude towards football and full dedication in training. However, Joao is also not far behind his opponent. Recently, the guy has been posted on Instagram almost only pictures from various training sessions. It looked like Joao should have the opposite intention though. Nevertheless, his old man is known for being a party-goer, but it seems that Mendes doesn't follow his example and he's completely invested in football in order to build own football career. This is very, very pleasing to witness. We give both guys a point for this one. The current score is 3-4 in favor of Cristiano. In the fourth round, we decided to compare the impact on the media from these two lads. Let's start with the Brazilian. More than 220,000 people have subscribed to him on Instagram, and the guy already has a contract with Nike. Not bad for a 16-year-old, right? In 2021, a short documentary about Mendes was released in Brazil. You can watch it right on Joao's account. So he is quite familiar with the media area. Joao Mendes already has his loyal fans. Ronaldo Jr. doesn't have such an army of subscribers, only because he has no Instagram at all. We are to recall the story of how CR7 decided to protect his son from excessive pressure and anxiety. Cristiano would clearly have more subs than his opponent, if that still allowed him to run social media platforms. Just look how many of them Cristiano Sr. has and you will realize everything yourself. Cristiano would get 1 million in a matter of hours. This is also evidenced by the fact of the world's largest media publishers writing articles about Ron Jr., while the youngster hasn't yet turned 12 years old. Events from his life are already covered as if he were a top-level professional footballer. Guess what happens when the little star grows up? Therefore, a point to each kid and 1-1 once again. The score in the tie is 4-3, still in the favor of Cristiano Jr. Our last round, which seems to be the most difficult to analyze. It's almost impossible to predict exactly who is going to become a big football star and who is going to fail. Both guys are able to find their place in the football Olympus, and both may not shine when reaching adult level. Be it as it may, we assume that Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. can prove himself more fortunately in the future. Let us explain why. First of all, let's take another glance of what the guy's engaged in and how he's engaged. Cristiano doesn't need to become a breakthrough and fight for his place under the sun in Europe, as he is already in the public eye, playing in the top academy, taking training very seriously from a very young age. Joao Mendes is older than Cristiano, but he is less well-known and must work even harder to prove that he deserves to play in Europe. 1-0 in favor of Cristiano Ronaldo, for that matter. We still hasten to note that this is only the opinion of our editors, and it may be completely different for you, which is absolutely normal. So, it's time to count the final score. Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. wins our virtual battle. Although we have to admit the efforts of Joao Mendes, who pursued him to the last, and this run could have possibly ended in a draw. We wish both little lads to achieve big results not only in football, but also in life. The main thing is that they are both fond of what they do. The top level is soon to come as a slight bonus, especially with those genes. And what do you think? Which of them will be able to show themselves better at the top level in the future? Write your choice in the comments below. Also, don't forget to support us by giving a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Well, It was Inside Football. We watch football from a different angle. Have a nice one, and see you in a bit.